Hello, my name is Yashar Doğan. I am a solicitor advocate at Redstone Solicitors, specializing in UK immigration and nationality law. In another video, we explained what a sponsor license is and what you need to do to obtain one. In this video, we look at what you need to do in order to keep it. We look at your duties and responsibilities in compliance with the conditions of your sponsor license. Compliance is very important in obtaining a sponsor license and then keeping it. Unless you demonstrate that you are able to comply with your duties, your application for a sponsor license is likely to be refused, and unless you actually comply with your duties, your sponsor license is likely to be suspended, downgraded, or even revoked. If your application is refused or your sponsor license is revoked, you'll be banned from reapplying for a sponsor license for the duration of a cooling off period, which could range from 6 months to 12 months, or even longer in certain circumstances. What are the sponsor duties under the sponsor license scheme? Your duties as a sponsor license holder can be summarized as your duties to conduct right-to-work checks, your tracking, monitoring and reporting duties, your record-keeping duties, your duty of compliance with immigration laws and relevant Home Office guidance, your duty of compliance with wider UK law, and your duty not to engage in behaviour or actions that aren't conducive to the public good. Let's look at these duties in a little more detail. Right to work checks. All employees in the UK have a responsibility to prevent illegal working. This is regardless of whether or not they hold a sponsor licence. This is done by conducting right to work checks in accordance with the relevant Home Office guidance to make sure the individual has a right to do the work for which they are due to be engaged or employed. Checks on the right to work must be carried out for every person you intend to employ, including any sponsored skilled workers, before they begin any work. There are different ways in which you need to conduct the right to work checks depending on the status of your prospective employee. These include the manual documents-based check, the identity service provide check, the online check, and the employer checking service. Tracking, monitoring, and reporting duties. As a sponsor license holder, you'll be expected to track, monitor, and if it becomes necessary, report within a certain time frame, usually 10 working days, certain details regarding your sponsored employees. For example, if your sponsored worker doesn't start the role within 28 days, or if you stop sponsoring them, or they are absent from work without your permission for more than 10 consecutive working days, these need to be reported to the Home Office within 10 working days. You must also report certain changes relating to your organisation within a certain time frame, usually 20 working days. These include changes to the key personnel, amendments to the details of your organisation, such as its name, address, contact details, etc., if your organisation stops trading, and the like. Record-keeping duties. In relation to your employees, you need to keep evidence and records of matters such as their immigration status and the right to work checks, recruitment activity, their employment start date, their date of entry to the UK, their up-to-date and historic contact details, a record of their absences from work, and the like. You are also required to keep evidence of the recruitment process as well as documents showing rates of pay, such as a copy of the employment contract and pay slips, and the skill level of the sponsored worker, such as a copy of the job description and qualification certificates. Other duties. As a sponsor license holder, you have a duty to comply with UK immigration laws, all parts of the relevant Home Office guidance, and wider UK laws. For example, you mustn't employ someone who doesn't have permission to work in the UK. You must pay your employees at least the minimum wage. If applicable, hold the necessary planning permissions and license registrations, etc. You also have a duty not to engage in behaviour or actions that aren't conducive to the public good, and behave in a manner that's consistent with fundamental values and not detrimental to the wider public good. The importance of policies, procedures and systems. In order to comply with the requirements of your sponsor license and to be able to demonstrate that you are compliant, it's very important to have certain written policies, procedures and systems in place. For example, you must have an health and safety policy, disciplinary and dismissal rules, policy and procedure, a grievance policy and procedure, a prevention of illegal working policy, a migrant worker policy, etc. This isn't an exhaustive list. We have a number of policy templates that can be tailored to the needs of your business. In particular, we have prepared a comprehensive immigration law compliance policy that covers various aspects of your sponsor duties under the sponsor license scheme. How can Redstone Solicitors help me be compliant and keep my sponsor license? As a firm of solicitors specializing in UK immigration and nationality law, we can help you assess whether your business's conditions meet the requirements of your sponsor license. If your business doesn't meet the requirements, we can help your business become compliant by identifying, advising you on, and helping you prepare and develop policies, procedures, practices, and systems needed for compliance purposes. We hope that this video has given you an overview of the requirements you need to satisfy to remain compliant and keep your sponsor license. There will be further videos on this topic. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments below. Goodbye for now.